Hey everyone, welcome back to Complicated Things. Today we're going to try and solve a problem that a lot of young photographers have. I have it too. When your background is super light and you're trying to make a portrait and your subject is backlit and they go really dark, we're going to show you how to fix that. Ready?
Let's go.
Okay. Okay folks, we have Maddie on set, who is kind enough to sit for us. Thank you very much.
Of course.
She's a human being, not a model. What do I mean by exposing for the ambient? Behind Maddie is that big, beautiful sky. It's not super bright today, but it's pretty bright. Now, if I take a photo right now, set for the ambient, which is the outside light, let's see how it looks. As you can see, the outside is beautifully exposed. We can see all the detail in the Intrepid behind us. Maddie isn't silhouetted. We want it to look something a bit more like this. How do we do it? We added some strobe. Let's show you how to do that. Okay guys, number one, grab a light meter. You do not need a light meter, but using a meter in your camera can be a little tricky in these situations, so not a bad idea to have one. Alex is going to show you how to use the meter to measure the ambient light outside.
Okay guys, so I know that Mark's going to shoot at a fixed shutter speed, so we're only exposing for the aperture right now. So I'm setting up my ISO at 200, I'm setting my time to 1/250th, and I'm going to get a reading. And my reading for outside is 56.8, which we're going to go ahead and round up to f8. You want to show us if that works?
Sure. So we've got f8, 2/50th, 200 ISO.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be pure silhouette.
So our background is great. It's exposed correctly. We have all the information and the highlights and the shadows that we want. But now we want to match the setting we had in the background to the front to get just a totally neutral meter setting. So the first thing I'm going to do so we can balance the dark area of the photo with the light area is I'm going to come over here and turn on our artificial light. Today we're using a Pro Photo strobe, but just about anything would work. So I'm going to go ahead and start this way low. So now that I have my strobe on and it's just onto a random power setting, we're going to meter and see where it's sitting. Changing this, changing this. So right now we are sitting at f4.5. And so we are underexposed. We need to add almost 2 full stops of light to match what the ambient looks like.
Because the ambient's f8.
Yeah, f8-ish.
Right. Okay.
And we also have a little bit of glazing on the window, so we might even expect a little bit of extra light.
So what you're trying to do right now is get the same F number from the outside to the inside.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotcha.
And guys, this isn't going to be the most exciting photo, but it's going to be perfectly metered, and that's what we're going for.
Okay.
So I just turned up my power. We were at 60% power, and I added 1.5 stops worth of power. So that, combined with my previous reading of 4.5, can you give me a pop?
Should give us f8.
Should give us f8. Bingo, 569, the exact same as the window.
That's not f8, that's 56.9.
Oh my God, don't confuse people like that.
Sorry.
You wreck people.
Close enough. Who was it say? Somebody said, some famous photographer said, third of a stop's are masturbation.
That's it.
It's true. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's try that now. Our strobe's on. Here we go, Maddie. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. I love it. Amazing. Beautiful. Wow. So Alex, we have a well-exposed photo.
Yeah.
Our inside light is reading f8. Our outside light is reading f8. F8. Looks great.
Wow.
We have kept our shutter speed at a 2/50th because what you're going to find out is that flash and cameras have a sync speed. Find out what your sync speed is, and when you meter for your ambient light, make sure you're set on your right sync speed. You can go lower than that, you can go 60th or 30th, but you can't go higher or you start getting these weird black banding lines.
And guys, so we know that a lot of you probably like TTL settings, which allows high-speed sync. Mark and I just tend to use a more dumb flash setting and use a little bit old school ethic. But whatever works for you to get that sync setting right.
So my problem is that although everything is balanced, this is not the picture I would make, because
it's not a good photo at all.
It's too balanced, right? It doesn't have any feeling. It just almost looks fake because it's so well balanced. So what can we do to make this picture not only balanced and correct, but a prettier picture? Where should we start?
Well, I mean, I know you and I both kind of like moody contrast.
So let's take our strobe power down maybe half a stop.
Yeah, let's start
and
there.
see if that feels better.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we have turned our strobe down half a stop. And now if we shoot it, oh, that's looking a little more interesting, a little prettier, and a little more natural. I think I really like this. So exposure-wise, I really like this. Maddie, can you do mannequin number 1? Oh, that's perfect.
I'm glad that that looks natural. I'm glad that this light looks more natural for the mannequin look.
Maddie. Maddie. How is it being Canadian?
Oh, you know. Easy living.
But what is it about being Canadian that's so great?
A boot.
So as you can see, guys, one of the things you have to be super careful with when doing a setup like this is that if your strobe is positioned wrong, you're going to get that big glare in the glass. So work with your angles, move it left, move it right, move it up and down. And it makes it actually a little challenging because you might not be able to put the strobe exactly where you want it because it's glaring in the glass. So that's a challenge you have to work with to fix. But can we try, we're going to try one more thing for you. Let's move it over here and see if I can get something a little prettier.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, folks, we moved the light. We moved it from the left over to the right. I brought it a little bit closer, which is more how I would probably take a portrait if I wasn't even having to deal with what was going on outside. So let's have a look at this. All right, Maddie, look at that. That's really pretty. Wow. Have you done something different with your hair? It's so beautiful. That looks great. Can you lean in a bit towards me? Like lean out over on your knee a little bit. There we go. That's it. And like lean into me. That's fab. Wow, really nice. Alex, the lighting is tremendous.
Hey, thanks.
Chin up that tiny little bit, Maddie.
Professionally.
So I just wanted to fill everybody in here. I fulfilled Maddie's lifelong dream. She's always wanted a picture of herself with the Intrepid behind her, like nicely lit. So, you know, that's the kind of guy I am. You know, if that's what you want, that's what we'll make for you.
It was hard to get this location, but we got it.
This looks great. Beautiful. So I have a picture I'm kind of quite liking, but don't leave it there. Experiment. Work within what you've got to try and make it even nicer. So I'm going to try a couple of things. Grace has a full card, and she's going to bring it in just on that left side because some people might want a little more light on the left side and a little less drama. So let's see what a full card does on the left side there. That looks great, Grace. Grace, you're one of the best full carders that we've ever seen. I would step in half a step closer, Grace. There we go. Let's try that.
And Grace?
Grace.
Give me a little tilt forward.
Grace, out a little bit. There we go, right there. Now let's see what this does. Okay guys, as you can see now with the full card, her face is much more evenly lit, has less drama, but that might be what you're looking for. Another thing we can do is, that was a white full card. Let's see what it looks like if we use a gold full card, because Maddie's from Canada and they're all about gold and full cards. Right?
I'm from Canada.
You're from Canada.
Where they say gold!
Listen,
right.
I'm from Scotland, so what do I know? Alright. Alright, now that. There we go. Oh, look at that beautiful gold highlight right there. Bring it in a wee bit, Gracie. That's it. Oh, that's too much. Out a wee bit. Out. Right, there we go. Okay, guys, that's the gold full card. I really like it. It adds a little warmth to the scene, so I think we're good. That's how you balance the outside light with some artificially light that you've created inside. Big thank you to Maddie. Thank you. We wasted so much of her time today, but I think we got some lovely shots. And Alex, shall we sum it up?
So the main takeaways that we're hoping everyone picked up is there are only a few steps to make this really simple for you. Step 1, meter for your ambient light. Once you get that, you pretty much know what the rest of your parameters are going to look like.
And a good step is to make sure you know your sync speed of your camera and make sure that your shutter speed is set before you meter.
Yeah, that's pretty important actually. And then the next thing we want to do is add our artificial light. Now for you that might be a strobe like it was for us, it might be a speed light, it might just be a bounce card. But once you add that, you're going to meter again and see what that reading is. Once you get those two readings to be pretty close to the same, you're in a good spot to start working, and then you can figure out what's going to work for you.
Play around with it. It's good fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing to do. Bye.
Bye.
Good to see ya.
See ya next time.